Hello everyone. This video will look at 2 weeks, weeks 9 and 10. I'm clumping these 2 weeks together because all of you know the drill by now. You know how to do these assignments. There's nothing different here that you haven't already done. So you'll see that our overall topic here for week 9 is positive workplace culture. And when we look at the research 7 assignments, you'll see that there are the typical 4 research topics that have got to do with the primary topic. And then discussion forum 6 will focus on the research 7 topics. There's just one set of topics for this discussion forum, and paragraph 1 is the same as it typically has been. You're going to talk about 2 specific things you learned from each of the research topics. And when I say learn, it can be learned, or it can be you've heard of it before, but you've thought about it differently, or you've learned that it's something that you agree with or you don't agree with, or it's something you've seen in classes or in the workplace, any of those sorts of things. And then again, select one of the 4 topics and discuss a tip or strategy that you think would be useful for you to either start or to work on if you are already doing that thing. In paragraph 2, we've got 2 little case studies. One has got to do with teams, and one has got to do with a job or an internship, and talking about whether you see the workplace as primarily a positive workplace or primarily a toxic workplace, and why do you think that's true? And then think about your contributions to the workplace and give 2 or 3 specific examples of how you help to make the workplace either toxic or hopefully positive. And then when we look at week 10, you'll see that we have the response posts for the discussion forum here. I won't open those because they are what they are. And then we have the presentation 2 slides. The first thing I would suggest that you do is go back and look at the feedback that you got on your initial slides and your final slides for presentation 1. That will tell you that if you did great on those, then do the same thing here. Don't use your same slide template, but use your same thought process for creating the slides. And again, just look at the sample slide, look at the sample presentation, and you are creating this is exactly the same thing. It's a copy paste from presentation 1. Your hook slide, title slide, hook slide, objective slide, agenda slide, and sometimes the objective slide is a place where we run into trouble trying to make it look too much like an agenda slide. So check back to presentation 1 and be sure you did this correctly. Then your content slides, your ending slides, and the same guidelines that we used for presentation 1. So the best way for you to do this well and get a great grade on it is to look back at your presentation 1 slides, your first slides you submitted, and then the slides you used for your presentation, and see my feedback on those. You can also look at the feedback you got from your colleagues. And we'll come back down here to weeks 8 and 9. And so don't forget, you're using the topic that I gave you here in your feedback. If you've forgotten what your topic was, go back here to my feedback on checkpoint 3, and you'll see that I gave you your topic, and that is the topic you're using for your slides. And also remember, you're not submitting your presentation here. You're not doing that for still another 2 weeks. All you're doing here is your slides. I will give you feedback on the slides, and you still have 2 weeks to submit your final presentation. So I will look forward to seeing your slides and then to hearing your presentation.